We'll have plenty of sunshine today, a cool day with a high of 63 to 65, then clear and chilly tonight, low 40 to 45. Thursday and Friday both should be nice days with sunshine mixing with some clouds. High on Thursday, 71 to 73. High on Friday, 72 to 74. Expect showers by Saturday afternoon with a high of 76 to 78. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Get inspired to take your next vacation close to home and experience Miami Beach. A paradise getaway only a drive away. Take in 7 miles of beautiful beach. Walk historic South Beach. Take in the art and culture. Stroll famous Lincoln Road and taste the international cuisine found in the city that offers a faraway feeling without the flight. Visit Miami Beach, a paradise getaway only a drive away. Learn more at Experience Miami Beach on Facebook and Instagram. This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Wednesday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt. It's a little cold outside, 29 degrees when I woke up this morning in North Marion County. So I need to relax, but you need to relax, and it's only a drive away. We're talking about Miami Beach, Florida. Yes, that Miami Beach with its 7 miles of beaches, with its international cuisine, Miami Beach's art and culture, and you could win a hotel stay in Miami Beach and a tank full of gas. But you can only win if you call in and give us your name and phone number. Call 352-732-8000. That's 352-732-8000. Leave your name and phone number, or if somebody answers, give them your name and phone number. But if you call and get the answering machine, leave your name and phone number, that's the only way to get registered. It's 352-732-8000. Paradise is only a drive away from your friends here at WOCA, The Source. Now joining us on the phone lines, I'm pretty sure he's probably still with a down comforter wrapped around him, got some sort of fleece on. He's probably got 3 stocking caps on, 4 pair of socks, standing by an open, roaring fire. Galen Unall joins us. Galen is, I'm about accurate with how bundled up you probably are.
No, I wish. Here's the truth. I don't have a lot of warm clothes. I just don't, and maybe I should, but no, that's probably why I'm cold all the darn time.
I own a mock turtleneck, Nike mock turtleneck long sleeve that I can put under my golf shirt if I have to, but very seldom do I have to. And it's a very uncomfortable shirt anyway because it's a mock turtleneck for me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you.
For those people that don't know me, God blessed me with 3 thighs, 2 in my legs and 1 in my neck area. That's an accurate assessment, wouldn't you say, Galen?
Yeah, I would. Nothing wrong with that. You got to own it, right?
Literally, if you put a side of mashed potatoes and a biscuit with me, I could be a Kentucky Fried Chicken snack pack with the thighs I got.
Well, I was going to say a country ham.
Yeah.
You got a ham neck.
I do. I got a big old ham hock hands, too. Not like Larry, though. Larry had the biggest hands of any human I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I'm glad Larry never got angry at me. That's all I'm saying.
He's just a big human being.
Yeah, a big human being.
There we go.
Is somebody on our line with us?
No, I got in my car.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Had to battle the elements and get out in the car, huh?
That's right. Come on.
Now
there we go. I think I'm all set now.
Who was that in the background? That sounded like Gloria Estefan. Did you have the Miami sound machine on?
Yeah, somebody was singing, and I couldn't turn it off. my car does not like the cold. It's been running for 20 minutes, and it still doesn't know how to operate. So.
Yeah, I cranked my car a little earlier before I got outside today, and I walked outside. The heat defrost was on and everything, and I hit the windshield wipers with the washer fluid. It immediately crystallized on the window.
Oh, not good.
Not good. I literally, when I pulled out of my driveway, my temperature gauge at my driveway said 29 degrees. The grass crunched. The grass was not wet. The grass crunched when I walked on it this morning.
Not healthy. Not healthy at all.
It just tells me that 2020, with all the mess that we've had, we're going to have a rough winter as well. Because I was hard pressed. I thought about it the whole ride in. I'm hard pressed to remember where we had 2 or 3 days that have already been below freezing this early in the winter season. It's hard pressed to remember
What about
one.
the year it snowed? Do you remember the year it snowed? That was a really
That was
brutal
1998. It was at 98.
No. There was a year after that because I think it was like an 07, 08, because I have a picture of my son actually holding snow in our backyard. So I think it was in 08. That felt like a brutal, but I know that was in January.
Yeah. That was January, mid-January of 08 was when I'm talking about in.
Well, there you go.
I'm talking about in early December. It's only December 9th.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
You
know what? It could be worse. It could be we're in California. We
Well,
could
no,
be in
because
California
it would be better in California, Galen.
No.
Oh yeah, because
no,
we're locked down inside. We can't go out, so the heat's on. We're inside a controlled environment.
No, but they got rolling blackouts going on there.
Oh, they got rolling idiocy going on in California. Is what they got.
Yeah, they got rolling blackouts because of the winds. They're worried about the winds knocking down power lines and starting wildfires. So can you imagine being stuck in your house with no power too?
Yeah, it's called hurricane
Welcome to
season.
the third world.
It's called hurricane season.
Yeah, well, we can deal with that because that's nature. That's not government.
Well, but that's a whole different
That's
subject.
third world conditions.
The fact that California, the fact that did you see the video that went viral 2 or 3 days ago of the lady that was crying standing in her restaurant parking lot in California going,
Yes.
what am I supposed to do? While right next door, you can't make this stuff up, folks. Right next door, on location, they were shooting a movie, and everything was fine there. The people, the movie staff, the actors, the production staff, and all, it's fine for them to be at work. But don't you open your small business restaurant, lady, or you're going to jail.
Yeah, it's just it's the elites trying to rule us. That's all it is.
We got to make sure Chicago PD gets filmed, but you can't go in there and have a dinner.
It's true. It's true.
Well, you know what it is. They got to give us something to watch because if not, we'll have to watch Tiger King again. Damn it!
Oh man, boy, that was brutal.
Did you watch?
But again, yeah, I did watch Tiger King. Yeah, I'm not proud of it. Not proud of it, but I did. It was entertaining. You could say a lot of things about it, but it was entertaining. It's no Queen's Gambit. I mean,
No.
Queen's Gambit just had high-level acting. But, the Tiger King could not have been more entertaining.
And it was one of those things
dumpster fire.
It was one of those things where for like 3 or 4 weeks, people were talking about it, and I was like, do I want to hear about a gay man who supplies his young men with drugs at this wild game tiger refuge? Do I really want to watch this thing? Because I'd heard all about it. And then one night about 10 o'clock, I was like, you know what? I'll watch one episode, and it's going to be horrible. And then I won't watch anymore, but I'll at least have given it a shot.
Sure.
5 o'clock the next morning.
Hey, you know why? Part of it is there was nothing else on, right? I mean, they could not have released Tiger King at a better time, right? Because it was right in the middle of the lockdown when it came out. I mean, it's train wrecked and cringeworthy and all of those good terms. But
Yes. People call me while I'm in the middle of a radio show all the time. I have to call her back.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it was a train wreck that you couldn't turn away from. On top of there was nothing else on the TV, and then it was like that accident that you see on the interstate that you don't want to look, but you rubberneck anyway, and there's not.
Sure.
You try. You tell yourself as you pull it up, don't look over to the left. Don't look over to the left. Don't look over to, and then you just stare to the left. Well, that was Tiger.
Yeah.
That was Tiger King for me.
Well, there was no sports. Right, we were supposed to be having the NCAA tournament.
That wasn't
was
happening.
All gone. Nothing else was on but Tiger King, and I mean, what else? What am I supposed to do?
Did you hear this story, speaking of television, did you hear this story that England, the government of England and the Palace of England, from the Queen herself, sent a letter to Netflix demanding that Netflix put a disclaimer on the Netflix series The Crown.
Yeah.
And the disclaimer saying, this is not real life. This is fiction. This is not how the royal family is. This is all fiction. Demanding that Netflix put that on there as it airs in the UK. Don't you think the people of the UK are smart enough to realize what's fiction and nonfiction?
Yeah, I mean, they live off of the government. They make more money off of the government subsidies than anybody else on the planet. So they're a welfare state. So, of course they feel entitled. My wife loves that show. That's one of those that she just goes into her room and watches and zones out. And, I have my sports, but she'll zone out in The Crown, and I can't get into it. But
yeah, I've not seen an episode. I'm lucky that way that I've not seen an episode. But just the chutzpah of a group to say, we demand you do this before you show this in our country. And by the way, why is the Crown so? Why is the royal family still so? I mean, they have no power. They got plenty of wealth. I mean, the most expensive house, according to Forbes magazine, the most expensive house in the world is Buckingham Palace.
Sure.
They got plenty of money, but why? I just don't understand. And I guess because I'm such a history geek, and I really bought in. Ooh, imagine that, the whole American thing where we expelled the redcoats and King George at the same time. I've just never, we smacked you around, we beat you, and we have our own country now. I don't see the reverence to the crown. I just don't see it.
It's not something I understand. I think at this point it's just pure tradition. I mean, she's been in power more than, 80 years now?
I think she went in the 50s. 75 years? In the 50s.
Yeah.
You know how you answer. Yeah. You know how you figure these questions out in this day and age, right? You do it like this. Let me figure this out for you. Hey Google, when was Queen Elizabeth crowned?
I think it was in
the 2nd of June, 1953. According to the royal family, Queen Elizabeth II was crowned on the 2nd of June, 1953 in Westminster Abbey. Her Majesty was
there you go.
All right, boy, Siri was quick on that.
The 2nd of June, 1953.
That's about election fraud. She's very silent.
Well, this is
the Queen of England.
This is not Siri. This is Google, the Google app. The same deal. You're right. You asked the Google app. Tell me about election fraud. I'm sorry, I don't understand. Neither do I. That's the problem.
I need somebody to explain to me this lawsuit.
It's getting a little crazy.
Media says nobody's going to
getting a little crazy now. We'll talk about that after the break. We're going to take a short time out. Then we'll talk about it's getting a little crazy now. We're talking with Galen Unall from Life South, brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center and Penn Flooring. We'll be right back after this short time out.
I'm Jan from Palm Garden. Christmas in 2020 sure looks different than it has in years past.
I'm Crystal, and it's fair to say this year has been like no other for the healthcare and the whole community.
We want to thank our frontline staff who continue to care for our residents every day.
And thanks to the family members who have been unable to visit for so long.
We wish each and every one of you a blessed holiday season. Merry Christmas from Palm Garden.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Now you did it. Are you completely insane? He's back. He, who must not be named. The man, the myth, the only guy in Ocala to eat his own weight in fried pickles. twice. Now, you asked for it. Sorta. Live and in person, it's Tom Schmitz.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks with Tom Schmitz. On the phone lines with us is Galen Unall. Always on the lines, thanks to the good people at Penn Flooring, family-owned and operated, serving Marion County for over 30-plus years. Penn Flooring owes every bit of their success to their unrivaled customer service. Penn Flooring is a full-service flooring company dedicated to finding the best solutions for your flooring needs and having experience in both commercial and residential fields. Go see their great-looking showroom at 1201 Southwest 17th Street here in Ocala, or call them at 352-351-3420. We'd also like to thank the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, located at 2700 Southwest 34th Street. They offer skilled nursing, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. If you have any questions how they're handling COVID-19 at Palm Gardens, please call them at 352-854-6262. Back out to the phone lines to Galen Unall from Life South. Galen, before the break, we were talking about how crazy the voter fraud stuff is getting. And now the state of Texas has sued 4 states, including Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, Pennsylvania. And what they've done by suing the state, by one state suing the other states, they can bypass all the lower courts because of a constitutional rule that says if a state sues a state, it can go straight to the Supreme Court for adjudication. Now, the Supreme Court has to agree to hear the case, but the state of Texas, I think, is throwing a Hail Mary. I'm starting to get aggravated with just get over it, folks. It's 4 years of Biden. It is what it is, and let's move on.
Yeah, I think you're right. 8 other states have now joined them, including Florida. Florida joined on that lawsuit. You know, the only thing that gets me is when the video that came out where, you know, the poll workers sent everybody home except for 4 people.
In Georgia.
They bring out these in Georgia, and they bring out these suitcases full of ballots, and they just run those ballots for hours. You know, and there's no oversight, there's no explanation, and no explanation has been given to put any context into that video. That video to me is pretty damning, and you know, the mainstream media just blows it off, and nobody in the state of Georgia seems to want to talk about it. There could be a valid explanation for it. You know what I mean? I'd love to hear somebody tell me what it is.
That's the thing. There could be, you're entirely correct. We don't know what happened there. We see the video, and then I have friends of mine that go, you know, friends of mine that are from Georgia that have been Democrats all their life because that's what their parents were, that's what their parents were. And by the way, that happens a lot in the South because the South used to be very, very Democrat-controlled because it was the Dixiecrats. So with that being said, I have friends, and I say, well, what's going on here? And they go, well, it's a really grainy film. You can't see what they're doing. They could be doing maintenance They could be doing maintenance on the machines. And I'm like, okay, if they're doing maintenance or they're doing tests or anything, I'm okay with that. Just tell me or show me that's what happened. Don't stay mum about it. I think you're entirely correct. People not giving you a comment or saying, nothing going on here, move on. Well, obviously something was going on.
And again, it's like you're not allowed to talk about election fraud or people call you, you know, wacky. And I'm not saying there is or there isn't. I saw that video, and I'm like, wait a second. Wait, what happened? And then the more you look at it, and I thought the lawyer who was talking over the video that I saw did a great job of explaining it to me. And then the people who were in the case said, oh, okay, we're moving on from this. You can't just, it's a hearing. You're supposed to hear stuff, right? And get explanations. And there's been nothing to come out on the other side to say, this is what they were doing. You know, you can find those individuals. They have great records of who was working there, right? Just go ask them. But you can't do that. That would be wrong. I'm just completely lost by, you know, the news media. They just don't even care. They're not even a little curious.
Well,
you know, I'm curious.
Well, I think the news media wants to move on because they got their guy elected. I mean, have you ever seen that? That's the thing that got me with 2020. It's the news media. And by the way, I'm part of the media. Okay, I'll be the first to admit that. But the fact that the mainstream media as a whole campaigned for Joe Biden, in my opinion. Joe Biden stayed locked down during the pandemic. Donald Trump was having his rallies all over the country, but the mainstream news media was campaigning for Joe Biden. I've never seen anything like this in my life. The hatred and the lack of just respect for the office of president, the way that the news media has taken it. And I know people say, well, if the guy in the office doesn't show any respect, why should the news media? I understand that argument. But whether you agree with Donald Trump, whether you like Donald Trump, whether you thought he should have been president, the office of president is bigger than anybody that holds it and has to be respected in a way that no other office is respected. I don't care whether it's Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, or me. This is an office that was held by George Washington. This is an office that was held by Abraham Lincoln. It's an office held by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. These are great men. It's a great tradition. It's the respect needs to be there. I don't give a damn who's in office.
Well, and I agree with that, but I also think that the voting should have some reverence to it.
There should be integrity.
Absolutely. There's got to be some trust in there, and it's hard to trust the process when you see video like this, and the people who should care, the people who are supposed to be, the fourth estate, just going, oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
don't worry about it. You're crazy if you think there's something to that.
We send Jimmy Carter, quite possibly one of the best presidents after he left office, not while in office, but after he left office, that we've had for his philanthropic dealings that he does, plus the way he goes around with his humanitarian help. And he oversees elections in third world countries to make sure they're above board. He goes and he watches just for this type of activity in other countries. But when it happens in our country, we're like, move on. Nothing to see here. Move on.
Right, and that's all. That's the only thing. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with the results of the election. I just think you should be able to speak to, some of these things that have come out about the number of people who donated in Detroit, and you should be able to address these and say, because the answer is always, well, it wasn't enough to turn the election. Well, Biden only won Georgia by 27,000 votes? Right,
and they were feeding things into this machine for hours.
Right, and they can take 3,000 votes an hour. Okay, I'm no rocket scientist, but there are 4 machines? Do the math. They only needed 2.5 hours to get those 27,000 votes.
And just why were these suitcases under a table? It's clear they're pulling these out from under a table. The video can't be, and the thing that you notice, the thing that I find the weirdest, and we only got about 2 minutes left. The thing that I find the weirdest is they're not denying that the suitcases were under the table. They're not. Nobody said, "Hey, you don't know what you're seeing." That's not what happened. They're saying it's no big deal. Move on, because. How do you explain the suitcases, and how do you explain, the water main broke, and so we were supposed to be out of the building? There's a lot going on in Georgia that hasn't been explained, and their arrogance is, we don't have to explain it. It is what it is. The results are what they are. Let's move on. Nothing to see here.
That's exactly right. And I think you nailed it with the arrogance, and that we don't have the right to know. You don't need to know. Just trust us. Well, it's like Reagan said, trust but verify. Tell me what's in the suitcase.
Exactly.
Tell me what's in the suitcase. I would love to have the lady who pulled the suitcases out and all 4 of those individuals in front of Congress and say, what was in the suitcase? And if they plead the 5th, then we're like, whoa, we can't certify this election. And I don't know, Kemp, the fact that he's so willing to turn a blind eye to this amazes me. Just absolutely amazes me.
Well, I have it on good authority from friends of mine that are in government in Georgia, that are in with the state chamber in Georgia, fraternity brothers with the state chamber in Georgia and all, that for some reason the entire Republican Party of Georgia seems to be scared of one Democrat, and that's Stacey Abrams. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Hey, Galen, where's the Bloodmobile today?
Hey, today we're going to be out of Planet Fitness, and again, as I've said for a long time now, we are in critical need of all blood types. This is always a tough time of the year for us. The weather's not helping. This cold snap's keeping people away. But, you know, our donor centers are nice and warm. Our bloodmobiles are nice and warm. And so I'm begging you, just please come in, donate blood, make an appointment at lightsouth.org. You know, we're going to do socially distance. We limit the amount of people who can be on the bloodmobile at any one time. So please just come in, get the light, donate blood.
All right, thanks, Galen. Talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye, Tom.
We'll be right back.
Mall Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Swing states in the 2020